Homeopathic Medical College, India, to present on role of homeopathy in female hypothyroid cases. Dr. S.R. Washampayan. May I have a round of applause for him?
I need one more mic. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, good afternoon to all. My today's topic is role of homeopathy in female hypothyroid cases. This topic was selected because retrospectively it was found out by me that after 14 years of practice that I was treating hundreds of thyroid cases, but there was no basis, or what you can say, there was no formulation or no methodology developed by anybody in this field how we can approach this case of female hypothyroid. So this is a retrospective analysis of the cured cases, and then the methodology how it was done, it will be explained. Okay, so thyroid, as we know, by definition it's a clinical condition characterized by decreased thyroxine and increased level of TSH with weight gain, sensitivity skin, loss of hair, and mucoid infiltration. So classification and all that is expected for everybody to know here. So I will not go much into details of that. Now the etiology of thyroid. It is also known that prolonged exposure to goitrogens, autoimmune process, stress, familial, endemic areas like Himachal. But the most important point which I want to stress is, according to modern studies, female to male ratio is 6:1. And according to the Indian Journal of Endocrinology and Metabolism, everyone in 10 female in modern India is prone to hypothyroid. So this is a very, very important, because as most of us are practicing in urban areas. Cosmetic disfigurement, amenorrhea, menorrhagia, infertility, constipation. But the most important thing is menstrual disorders and the cosmetic disfigurement, for which any female will come to you for hypothyroid. And there is a definite relationship that hypothalamus, which governs our mind, limbic system, hypothalamus is related with pituitary, pituitary with hypothyroid, with thyroid, and pituitary with uterus. And this diagram explains the importance of and correlation between the all endocrinologically. Okay. Now management by modern medicine. What modern medicine offers usually is that they just tell you, okay, take the medicine and don't ask any questions. Thyroxine is the only drug of choice available with them. Taken in single daily dose, starts with 25 mg and has to be taken up to 250 mg. The medicine has to be taken lifelong. Then if you say, doctor, I had got some skin elements, I don't know anything about skin, just go to a dermatologist. I have some gynecological problem, then go to a gynec, plain and simple, but don't ask any questions. Only plain reassurance with lifelong burden of taking medicine. Homeopathic concepts. So we are treating the gland. So we say we are not only treating the gland, but treat the person, not the gland. As we have shown in the previous slides that thyroid is a part and parcel of human body. So look for man behind the disease. Talk with the patient. Don't just prescribe. Take thyroxine, take ultroxin, and visit me after 6 months. Whatever happens to you, whatever side effects, whether it suits you, don't answer any questions. So we beg to differ. The whole female is sick, not the thyroid gland. Dysfunction can be outcome of many factors in combination, both genotype as well as phenotype. See, no two people are similar in the world. No two female hypothyroid patient will present similarly to a doctor. They maintain their individuality. Some will be outspoken, some will be reserved, some will just talk and talk and talk. Some wants patient hearing, or somebody will accuse you as if you are the only culprit, that because of doctor I am having thyroid. So they have their own disposition. So if we consider thyroid as a single illness involving single gland, but patient gives you different symptoms. Their body structures are also different. Even monozygotic twins are different, and everybody will never manifest symptoms of so-called hypothyroid. Somebody will have polymenorrhea, somebody will have amenorrhea. So you cannot just say that this syndrome contains 6 symptoms and all symptoms are covered by all the patients. So there can be no similar medicines for a particular condition. as we say in homeopathy, one man's food is another man's poison. I can have wheat, but somebody is allergic to that. That is how God has created us. Homeopathic case taking in female hypothyroid. So the case taking pro forma will be the similar one what we follow. We ask the patient to talk and record almost all the symptoms from his childhood till today, from head to toe. But case taking for hypothyroid female can be divided into two parts. First is scientific part. Scientific part deals with the diagnosis, and artistic part. Because we say homeopathic doctors are artists. They talk with the patient, they listen to the patient, and they try to extract what is not observed by other people. So it may appear silly, small, trivial, but that becomes very, very important for any homeopathic doctor to prescribe. Scientific part, as we know, weight gain, menorrhagia, hoarseness, hair loss, they are going to be the same symptom. See, when we are going to give the medicine, we are going to see that after giving medicine, the weight reduces, the menses become all right. But these symptoms are not important because this will be there in thousands of thyroid cases. So we want to know what is the man behind the thyroid, what is the female who actually is sick. Thyroid is just a part which you know. Okay. So artistic part, as I think most of the students are also there, we know that we take physical likes and dislikes, the person's thermal reactions, history of previous illness from which we determine the miasm, the genetic tendency for the illness. Then it's the developmental milestones, mental history of female, or means mother of that child, if available, during pregnancy, because that also determines many, many conditions like asthma, epilepsy. Mental data is very, very important, that we call life space. We take into consideration anger, hate, love, likes, dislikes, fear, anxiety, weeping, which no other, what you can say, modern man will ask. If he'll say to you, if you are depressed, go to a psychiatrist. If you have got some GIT problem, go to a gastroenterologist. But I only know thyroid. But we say we want to know the patient. We are eager to know the patient, what the patient actually is. Then comes the processing of data. The whole data minus diagnostic symptoms, which are there in almost all schools, will be homeopathic data for prescription. This prescriptive symptom is called as totality of the symptoms. We want to know what is peculiar to the patient, which is there only with the patient, not with other patients with hypothyroid. Then this is a case. The names are not real, just for my frame of reference. There was a case of Mrs. Faraj Sheikh, female 36. She suddenly came with weight gain, and weight gain, amenorrhea, she gained 10 kgs in 2 months. The report showed TSS 25, T4, 2.2. All data was taken, all questions were asked, but nothing drastic was found out. It happens in all the cases. People say homeopathy is only mind, but we say homeopathy is mind and body all together. But there was very peculiar gesture of her, which was demanding attention. The lady of 38, mother of 2, was rubbing her nose and her eyes with fist. I asked her, what is this, madam? She said, I never had this symptom before in my life. And this symptom is there since I have started gaining weight. So I don't know whether it is connected with thyroid or not. But studies found out that allergies may or may not be the part of thyroid. So this symptom was given most important, what you can say, place in the totality. And the follow-up criteria was there for reduction of this habit of boring. And gradually it was found out that as the patient started getting better, she started losing weight. And her hoarseness reduced, her appearance of menses occurred. And the medicine which was given was Squilla maritima. I think the medicine is not important, the approach is important, because it's a very, very different debatable issue. And follow-up criteria was set. And gradually you can see from the follow-up criteria that her weight is reducing, and when she was euthyroid on 12/12/2012, her habit of boring her feast into her eyes was totally stopped. So this is what a homeopathic doctor will do. If you go to a general practitioner or a consultant of modern school, he may or he may not give you steroids, or he may give you different medicine, because he will treat allergy is different, asthma is different, thyroid is different. But we say no sir, we are treating the person, and that is the meaning of treating person holistically. Okay, and fresh report also shows euthyroid status. This is a case of Dimpy Singh, a Punjabi female who comes from Himachal, which is an endemic area. But her problem started after her first delivery, and the reason was that her husband who was an alcoholic, who used to accuse her that you are gone obese, you are not good looking, and he used to abuse her physically, mentally, and the lady's disposition was such, her temperament was such, that she never used to retaliate back. She was on thyroxine, as you see in the previous slide, 150 mgm every day, but there was no result. But after considering her reactive disposition, a medicine Staphysagria was given, and counseling was done to her husband as well, he was a very hard nut to crack, because he never accepted that after marriage and his histrionics will cause thyroid to his wife. So that usually happens with families all over the world. So after, it took around 3 years for me to make the patient better. The first criteria of follow-up in all hypothyroid, because hypothyroid menstruating females, usually in my practice, they have amenorrhea instead of polymenorrhea or menorrhagia. So there are no menses. When the menses appear, I keep the patient on placebo. Because if you give unnecessary repetition after the menses appear, because that's a sign that physiology is correcting itself, the vital force what we call, or Almighty is correcting this patient through this appearance of menses is a sign. And through this, we know that this is the important criteria: reduction of weight, reduction of hoarseness, and appearance of menses. And slowly, her altoxin was taper off. It took around 3 years for me, and in which, as Sir was saying about anti-miasmatic remedy, the concept of anti-miasmatic remedy was used. So, the entry point in the case is the mental factor. And the miasm concept is very, very big, but I'd like to sum up that as Ayurveda people say, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Homeopathically, we say that there are tendencies in human body. One is deficiency, one is excess, one is erraticity, unpredictability, and one is tendency of destruction. These are the basic reasons, and we have to give medicine, and we have to cater need of the patient by giving him anti-miasmatic remedy. This is again a very peculiar case, a case of Jessibunisa, who came to me after hysterectomy. And the most important condition was she only had dry cough, which was aggravated in the night. The patient will say, okay, doctor will say, hoarseness is common with thyroid, but not dry cough at a particular time. And the next important symptom was increased appetite, which is contrary to belief that hypothyroid patients have got anorexia. Because of these symptoms, she was treated within 6 to 8 months, and the total time was around 10 months. And this was a symptom upon which this medicine was given. This is the last case I like to sum up. This was a case of Mrs. Indira Jaishan, who suddenly came with me with carpal tunnel syndrome and weight gain. And she was already on hypothyroid medicines. I tried to get her, took her case for 3 hours. Nothing, no symptoms. Only symptom was she was little small and her face was showing myxedematous appearance. I said there are no symptoms, so let's give thyroidinum, which is a sarcode. I think the way madam described her lack remedies, sarcodes are healthy products of plants, animals, and human beings, which can be even used as replacement. And I so many times use thyroxine, which is prepared from sheep dung, because it is in lower dilutions. It is less harmful to withdraw, taper off altroxin. Okay, so she got eventually better, and she is euthyroid. Okay, so now I'd like to conclude. Auxiliary mode of treatment is very, very important for any doctor. We have to give attention to the patient and explain her so many things. According to allopathic school, only reassurance. Okay, you will get better, or throughout your life, entire life you will be taking the medicine. Homeopathic case taking itself is a method by which one can bring about suppressed emotions, and it provides enough ventilation for patient. So they get to know more about their internal conflicts, and mechanisms help them in resolving it unknowingly. Okay, so this needs better explanation in some other place. So counseling of patients around her is of people around her is very important. Husband, children, counseling of family members about mood swings, lack of libido, depressive symptoms. All females, as a rule, any female in the world is conscious of her beauty, and you should never comment that you are obese. Otherwise, the depression is going to trigger thyroid again. Okay, diet and regime is very important. Radish, cabbage, cauliflower, soya beans, broccoli, Chinese food in excess. Then whey proteins or other protein or dietary supplements which are injudiciously administered to people who are doing gym and who want to have a very good physique. Even females are not lagging behind. But soya proteins and the protein products are goitrogenic. They trigger goiter. They may be hypo or hyperthyroid. Light exercise are allowed and strenuous exercises are not allowed, because if hypothyroid goes to a gym, there are chances of getting muscle injuries, which is universally accepted. Yoga and light walking can be against swimming. So this is the statistical data of drugs. I think I must have treated around 150, 160 patients in my 14 years of practice of hypothyroid, out of which, out of 100 random cases, sample cases, these are the interesting thing for homeopathic students and practitioners both. Ignatia 40%, Staphylococcus aureus 20%, Natrum 20%, phosphorus 10%, Calcarea 4%, Spongia 4%, Thyroidinum 2%. And an appropriate time required for making patient asymptomatic. Now we have what alternative system lacks in data. Clinical data, results before and after. We just claim I treated thyroid, but you don't have your concrete reports. You should analyze and give the modern school their data in their own language, our data in their own language. So clinically diagnosed first-hand case, if you get a virgin case of thyroid, it requires around 15 months. Subclinical cases 18 months, complicated 36 months, pregnancy 6 months. Cases complicated with other systemic illness and multi-endocrinal disorders responds very slowly and require medication for a longer period. Conclusion. So all the cases are clinically similar of female hyperthyroid, but homeopathically they are different individuals. A proper medicine is to be given after individualizing and analyzing their identity. In mensurating females, medicine is to be stopped after regular menstrual cycle resumes. Reports are to be taken after 3 successive cycles. It may be 21 day, 77 day, 31 day. When the female who had problem with menses starts getting 3 regular cycles, this is my own opinion, then in homeopathy we don't repeat. Homeopathy is no excess repetition. After that, I stop medicine, keep the patient on placebo, just for the sake of follow-up. Okay. Then weight loss and anemia are the important criteria. Don't neglect anemia, don't neglect weight loss. If you say patient is better, weight loss is not better, then that doesn't count. Thyroid responds beautifully to moon-phasic medications, and medicines given at a time of new moon, as given in homeopathic literature, will give you better result. This is my own understanding and own experience. Now, the conclusion, that there are so many factors for female hypothyroid: mental factors, environmental stresses, economical factors, work pressure, social life, domestic life, and hereditary. So there are so many factors which may contribute any illness in the world. All illnesses are multifactorial. Nobody can say only goitrogen will have thyroid. Okay? So homeopathic doctor observes all and covers all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any questions from the audience side?
Anybody would like to ask a question?
Dr. Shailendra, I have a question.
Yes.
You said you stop medicine when the menses appear.
Yes.
And the second point you said is the moon phases affect some way in the treatment.
Yes.
Can you explain these 2 points? Why you put up a criteria of menses appearing for a stopping of a treatment?
Yes, because in homeopathic medicines, we don't have chemical reactions. We don't know end point where to stop. So
more than TSH?
No, TSH is the criteria. But sir, what happens if the say case of Dimpy Singh, husband starts drinking alcohol again, somebody dies, and the thyroid again shoots up. So in that time, see, TSH is the most important criteria, anemia is the most important criteria, but if you give the patient medicine according to moon phases, that gives you better result. And I don't believe in repeating unnecessary. You go on giving medicine, Staphylococcus aureus, for life together, the patient may not respond to that medicine. So if the person usually becomes alright, in female cases, menses is an important criteria. I think all doctors will agree who are practicing that when menses become alright, 80% of the female is alright. So that is the criteria for not repeating in excess. I may give if required.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Washampayan. May I please request the co-chair to facilitate Dr. Essa Washampayan.